Welcome to our Now You Know behind the scenes 50 daily actionable tips.
So we heard the news, right, that circuit breaker is going to happen. So you start texting me, and then we discuss some stuff. And then, then you send an email, a pretty long one. Yeah, I just remember there was a lot of discussion. There was a lot of really texting back and forth.
PFA is one of those key courses that we have with the Red Cross Academy, and it's really something that's quite apt to be delivering to people, especially at these unprecedented times.
So when we came out with this, we thought that we wanted to provide people with psychosocial support, and one of the ways was psychological first aid. And psychological first aid typically is done face to face, and it's going to be hard to do it via online or via post. So we do it via psychoeducation materials instead, which is via the posts. And we hope that it really helps people. I think to share from the academy side, we were already preempting ourselves that we might not be able to conduct classes. Because we know that with the measures like 10 people or lesser, and then there was going to be a lot of restrictions. So for myself, I was thinking how can we still provide education or psychoeducation for our viewers or our followers, that they can help them during this period, because we know that people might be stressed or anxious.
So as we brainstorm about this idea, we were thinking about what is an effective way that we could translate psychosocial support to the people. So we said that why not let's do tips, actionable tips, and then it kind of we spiraled into this okay, why not let's try daily tips, and I was like, sure.
Yes.
Sounds great. How do we want to make this adaptable to everyone? And then the stay home, stay safe was just amplifying everywhere. Mentally resilient, it's just so long. So we're like, okay, let's try with something simple and that people understand. So it became Stay Sane.
And it's I think that was the shortest and easiest one. It was stay home, stay safe, stay sane. And okay, that works. Okay, let's try it. And then we just roll along with it. We actually issue conversations. So because we haven't had any tips yet, so I really remember we had really long and many WhatsApp exchanges. We just text. Hey, maybe we can use this, maybe we can use that. And then from there on, I remember that's why we have the brain dump thing. I created the Google document because there was too much information, and there was 3 things. Then I kind of created a template, and then after that we started putting in the points. And then we separate them. We decided to target different audience. We decided to focus on people who are at home, how they can take care of themselves. Then also people around them, maybe their loved ones or family members, and also people who are not with them, because we know it's a circuit breaker period. So what can they do to stay socially connected, for example? And then the last one was people that they meet, maybe the delivery person, or maybe the healthcare workers, doctors, for example.
And then at a later point, we added in the people who are vulnerable. This was when CB was extended.
Yes, correct. That's absolutely right. That's where we were thinking about the elderly, because they have to stay at home, right? And they are more vulnerable. And we're thinking about the migrant workers, people who actually might be needing more support. So what can we do to make them feel better?
Heiko would come up with an entire list of
options. Yeah, so I will maybe like for under the self part, I'll think of some simple actionable things that people can do, and then I'll just list down, and then I'll need to think of the question that is linked to the action that they can ask. Yeah, so I had to come up with like different options for Vivian to be able to choose from the questions, the actions, and also the statements. Yeah, initially I tried to do that flow to make things easier for her, but after a while I kind of like ran out of ideas and it was hard. So whatever that comes to my mind, I'll just plonk into the different categories, and then Vivian will do like this puzzle matching game where she will like, okay, this one might suit with this question, might suit with this statement. Yeah, that's quite interesting to see. Yeah.
So at that point, I also decided that I will bring in Clara into the picture.
When I first saw it, I thought it was very extensive, like there are so many details. But then I thought the piecing together, it was quite fun. Yeah, I had a bit of fun with that.
So I think that sheet itself was like our baby for like 50 days. It was a very important baby for 50 days.
If we were to look at the revisions, right, there were so many. That's it's like whatever we put at the initial part, like in pieces, and after that when we put them together and then we vet it, and then we change the words, even the statements or the questions sometimes, even like one or two words, because like each word actually matter. Like it might have different implications for different people. So we were very, very careful in that. Yeah, and that took a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah, that really took a lot of time. So the entire concept we talked about, we said actually for the entire concept, right, we talked about doing it just for circuit breaker. Honestly, didn't expect circuit breaker to extend. So we ended up with 50.
Because personally for me, I was affected from the announcement emotionally. So I was like, okay, if I feel affected, how will people feel, and how can we share something with them to hopefully make them feel better and make them feel more assured.
Well, so we had to do a lot of research and then reading articles, making sure it is accurate and positive in that sense. And then my job was to make it interesting and relatable. I think it's coming up with a simple way of explaining big words.
I think that was the very interesting exchange of ideas. So like Vivian will like do some research and post it, and then I will look into whether the phrasing or the wording is neutral and whether it's like safe for people to actually comprehend. Because sometimes it can be like, if we talk about like the iceberg theory, there's quite a number of psychological iceberg theories, and people might be confused, or it might be a very huge big concept. So how to make that relatable? The first thing that came to my mind was Titanic. Yeah, and how like the top and the bottom, and it's like us humans, like the bottom is also part of us, and sometimes we can't see that. Especially during this COVID-19 period, there's a lot of like, in a way, like fake news or fake information going about, especially in the field of mental health. I think part of the process was you did the research, and then after that I will vet, but at the same time I also do my own research just to verify that what I know is correct, just to make sure that the information that we share to our viewers is true and has psychological backing. Yeah, because that's really important. We really don't want people to just do things like what we think might be right, but we might not be right. So we have to verify it. Like legit. It feels like doing assignment all over again.
We were talking about like it's as though the both of us went back to school. Yeah. So like both of us, I need to submit a paper. It was quite funny.
I think before I joined, you were the one who had to piece everything together and then also find the graphics. So I think it's a bit taxing on you. So after that I saw that there are so many. So I just thought, okay, I will just find everything that is listed. I'll just try and find them, and I compiled them. And then Vivian also told me that we need to find graphics that are similar looking, so that the design will not be so different, and they can mesh together into one whole picture. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to find. For example, initially I think the one on online activities doing together, I couldn't really find anything. But I'm not sure, is it because of the COVID period and then people started drawing more. So after that I could find like people singing together online, the graphics, that sort of thing. I think at first I couldn't find any of that lah. So it was quite interesting to see like the graphics also evolve with the time lah.
One thing I really liked was how the images or the photos were very diverse. That means we have people of different skin color, we have male, female, we have different representation, and I thought that's very true to us being a humanitarian organization. And it's true, you know, like men can do yoga, or women can multitask, whichever. That was very beautiful. It was nice. I think for a start, people always think that, you know, managing a social media platform, like the work that you do, is like so simple. People always have this idea that, oh, you know, you just plug here, plug there, and then get some ideas, post, find some photos, put it together, and just post. But through this whole process, right, I really appreciate the work that you do much, much more. I find that it's not easy. It's really, really tough. There's so much thought process that goes behind that. Like, you need to think about your target audience, you need to think about the timing that you post, you need to think about like the colors. I remember we were talking about, should we post like daily, or should we put in a folder, you know, all these small things which people don't realize. Yeah, and I thought that was really it gave me a very nice insight of the tough work that you do. Not to mention that you need to post it like every single day, daily. I remember, so there were times where I realized that it hasn't been posted. During the first part of the CD, we were like so excited, and then we were like, okay, we do weekly, excited. And then somehow along the way, our energy just like, there were some days I will be like, I cannot, I'm so tired. And then there'll be some days you'll be like, I cannot. So we just take turns. It just happens naturally. And there were some parts where we just decided to like, okay, we are not going to do week by week every time. Let's just do it day by day. Yeah, so we literally just do day by day, and we just move from there. And I think one beautiful part that come out from it is really how we take care of one another, like how Clara is sending you keys, and how I will randomly just text you and like, hey, how are you doing? Because I know that you have a lot of other KPIs to do and everything on top of it. I mean, this is just only one project. Yeah, and then you were checking on me. So I thought that was really, really nice.
It was a challenge. I think for Heike, it was like a mental, like, trying to pull through all the things that he was doing on top of fasting. I think for us, it was a very mental one, where we had to like squeeze our brain juice. But I think for Heike, it was not only just mental, but a physical, like trying to like stay awake.
So you already lack of juice, and you know, like most of us, we need our caffeine. So there's no coffee, there's no water. So you're running on whatever that is there. So some days I remember I was just like, what? Vivian, what?
Yeah.
Can you repeat that? Okay, wait, what? Based on the social media response, it seems like we have a lot of like likers and some sharers, but they don't really comment much. Yeah, so having like some positive comments, whether through the post itself or some private conversation, I thought that was really nice. One incident that I will always remember is that one of my friends, she's a counselor, and she told me that the daily tips were so useful that she shared it with her patients, because she's working in the hospital, and they're following it, and then they're doing it like a homework and stuff. And I was like, wow, I felt so affirmed. And like, you know, all the hard work that we did is like, yes, you know, like, yes, you're doing something like impactful. It was a very nice feeling, like very heartwarming.
I had the most memorable text with Heike.
I remember, what was it?
I think it was the second last day I text Heike. Heike, tomorrow is the end of CV. So are we gonna continue? The first statement that Heike texted me was, are you breaking up with me? Like, I thought we have been together for 50 days. 50 days we were best friends. And both of us were like, yeah, I think after CD we are done. I think it was great that we had each other, and our sweetest Clara, who was sending me encouraging gifs every other day, telling me that you can do this. And I was like, yes, I will do this. Because Clara is supporting me and Heike is supporting me, I will do this.
And that is also one thing that people usually don't realize, that sometimes the helpers themselves need help, like the social workers, the mental health professionals, counselors, or even your friends who you go to, for PFA. They actually might need help. Like, yes, they might be available for you, but sometimes they also get drained with all this, because we're all in this. We're all still trying to cope with what's going on with the COVID-19, the CV, and to deliver this information to everyone. Yeah, and it wasn't easy because as much as we try to remain distant, but all these issues are very relatable to us. Like, for example, like during Hari Raya, and then I remember telling Vivian that, hey, shall we do like a special post also for Hari Raya, because this year people cannot visit their family members, and how can we promote the social connectedness, like maybe via the apps or something. Yeah, so like it's very real time, and we feel it ourselves while we do these postings.
The 50 days, right? Me and Heiko were best buds.
Yep.
All day, every day.
It's like I text her every single day. So I think like for that point, right, both of us kind of like take turns. It's like there'll be a point of time where Vivian will be the one who message first, like good morning, like I love us like that. Then, hey, have you vetted? Have you checked? Or I'll be like, good morning, hey, I vetted already, and I'll send her at like 3 a.m. or something. It's very random one. So that was our Now You Know behind the scenes 50 daily actionable tips.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I think we should do like a blooper reel or something.
Yeah, tough.
Now you know.
Okay, hold on.
She's going to like pull the telephone out or something.
I have went ahead and you hold on.
Nice. What's the third part? Did I forget? Questions, and then the statements, and also the question. What? Question, actions.
Action, action, statement.
So we decided to give them a form of psychological. Oh my god, why did I say psychological? See, your fault. Okay.
It's not me.
You, I don't care. It's always you.
Claire, I'm sorry, Claire. Mute, Heiko. Mute, Heiko.
Ah.